law of inertia. So what is inertia? Inertia, it's a vital part of our life, and the universe cannot exist without it. So inertia can be best described as an object's tendency to stay in motion or stay at rest if it's at rest. To put it more eloquently, as Newton said in his first law of motion, he says that an object in motion will tend to stay in motion, and an object will stay at rest as long as there's no net force acting upon that said object. Now, this basically means that an object will maintain its current velocity. Say if it's at rest, the velocity would be 0. It would maintain that velocity as long as there's no force acting upon it. And as an object's inertia increases, that means its mass would increase too. So an object's mass and its inertia is directly proportional. And so for my ELA component for this PBL project, I wrote a narrative about the effects of inertia on our daily lives, and for my social studies project, I did a paragraph explaining the law of inertia and its early pioneers such as Galileo and Isaac Newton. Now, I have 5 demonstrations I'm going to present today, and first of all, I have this egg presentation. Now for this, you're going to need 2 eggs, 1 boiled and 1 not boiled. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to spin both of them, I'm going to put my hand on them. So I'll do that again. As you can see, this egg spins better and this egg doesn't. If you can guess right, this egg is the boiled one, this one is a raw egg. Now the reason why the boiled egg keeps on spinning and it spins better than the raw eggs is because the boiled egg has more inertia. Since it's solid all throughout, the mass is distributed equally and it will keep on spinning even though the raw egg doesn't spin because it's liquid inside and its inertia is greater at rest, so it will resist the motion and come to rest, while the boiled egg will not. Now for my next demonstration, I have just a roll of toilet paper. Just try to get a full roll. This one's a little bit used, but that's fine. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to yank it. The reason why the toilet paper doesn't unravel all the way is because the total mass of the toilet paper compared to the mass of the toilet paper itself, like the few sheets that I pull out, is much less than the actual total mass of the toilet paper. And since it has more mass, it has more inertia, and that's the reason why it stops. Now, if this was much less, then it would keep on unraveling. So I can do that again. Just do this, and it stops. And then for my third demonstration, I have this cup of water and a sheet of paper. Now, this one, it's almost like a magic trick that people do, but it's physics, it's not magic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to put the glass of water on top of the paste paper. I'm going to yank the paper from underneath without spilling it. 1, 2, 3. A little drops fell out, but as you can see, it didn't actually spill. The reason why is because the glass of water has a much greater mass than the sheet of paper, and so that means it has more inertia, meaning that it will resist the motion caused when I yank on the paper. I'm going to do that one more time. You see? And only a few drops fell out, but none of the whole thing stops. Alright, so I'm going to do my next demonstration. This is an inertia apparatus. So it involves this inertia apparatus. There's a string tied to a piece of wood, and I have a metal ball. And this ball is pretty heavy, so as we saw with the other demonstrations, the more mass an object has, the more inertia it has. So let's see what happens when I put the ball on top of a piece of wood, bounce it, and I'm going to fling it. Now, I'm going to do it, and hopefully the ball shouldn't go anywhere. And it doesn't. See, the reason why it doesn't is because since the ball has a lot of mass, it has a lot of inertia too, and compared to this piece of wood, its inertia is much greater. And so when the wood is flung from underneath, it just falls down because it resists the horizontal motion. And the reason why it falls down is because of gravity. Now I'm going to do my last demonstration of inertia beads. So, as you can see, just a bucket full of beads. And I'm going to hold it above me to get enough kinetic energy. I'm gonna throw it out. It falls out. I can't even stop it. Well, it got stuck. Again. I can't stop it. The only way I can stop it is after whip. The reason why that happens is because the beads, it has a lot of inertia when I throw it out. It has a lot of speed when I throw it out. And so it just keeps on going and going. And since they're all connected, it just falls out. And the only way I can stop it is after whip. See? And it's still falling even if I just leave it off the table. And the only bad part about this demonstration is it's really hard. Alright, so a very important use of inertia in our lives is seatbelt. The seatbelts are used in all types of vehicles such as cars and planes and trains, but in this case we're going to use a truck. And the reason why they're needed is because they prevent a person from moving once the vehicle they're in stops. So you're moving inside the car, you're moving at the same velocity the car's moving, and so once the brakes are applied, the car stops, but you're still moving with the velocity of that car. So the seatbelt acts as a force to prevent you from further moving on. And like, you know, if the seatbelt wasn't there, you would fly out the window and probably die. So we're gonna demonstrate that here. All right, so I'm gonna move it and go. Oh my God.